to be back at home for the final two games of the regular season. It's a homecoming week, our Seminole Heritage game as well on Saturday afternoon as the Noles look to close out 2024 in solid fashion. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Here live from Bowdens in College Town. Another edition of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Culhane. Let's get a big round of applause for the head man, shall we? Let's give it up for the head coach, Mike Norvell, everybody, here with us on Monday night. Coach, great to see you. How are you, sir?
Great seeing you. It's good to get back out into game week.
Uh-huh.
You know, obviously last week being our bye, I was proud of our players. You know, there's obviously a lot going on around the program. Some tough and challenging times for everybody. But I thought our players did an extraordinary job during the bye week of really controlling things that they can control. I thought they had great focus and energy. Really felt the investment in the week of work. We were able to let some guys his bodies rest up just a little bit. We tried to keep as much speed on speed, good on good work as we could. But then also really allowing some of the younger players to have developmental emphasis to the practices, and I was really competitive. I'm really excited about that freshman and redshirt freshman sophomore class. I mean, just some extraordinary guys that I think are going to just continuing to grow and develop throughout this year. And I really appreciated their work. And then gave them a couple days off. Came back last night, and a lot of energy. Everybody's excited to be back at home this week. Yeah. And obviously it's our time to go and respond. And that's what we have in front of us. We got a good Sunday under our hands, and we were able to get that knocked out, and now it's all about the rest of the week of preparation.
What excites you the most about your young guys as you watch them now? We're late in the year. They're starting to, they've been in the program now. A lot of them early enrollees since January. What have you seen in the development aspect? You can let everybody know about what the first and second year guys in the program.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're growing in their confidence. They're very skilled players, and all of them have a level of versatility in their game. But as you see the confidence that's starting to emerge, and the things we're asking them to do fundamentally, technique-wise, even just communication of being able to go out there and to play faster and to be able to take ownership in the actions of whether it's a first step or where they're placing their hands. There's the reactionary movements that are coming off of the things that we're asking them to do. I mean, you really are starting to feel these guys as they're growing in their own. And it's been very competitive, and we try to challenge those guys throughout the season. Just to take those steps, but also the investment from the coaches and everybody involved in that growth throughout the year is something that I think really will pay dividends here as these guys continue to grow up.
Outside of the physical side of playing the game at this level, from a high school senior to the Division I level, what's the biggest transition for young guys playing at the highest level of college football?
Outside of the physical?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the mental part of it, just the volume, the communication, the importance of, and the understanding of all situations. The situational awareness. It's so much more magnified. At the college level. Most guys, most top players in high school, depending on where you go to school, are going to play probably both ways. They're going to they're getting high rep counts. Obviously all those things, but when you get to college, I mean, it's all about the details. It's all about the adjustments. You can have a call with 3 or 4 different adjustments off of it, based off of motion, based off of look, based off of coverage, or a blitz or a stunt that you might see. So it's being able to take the physical traits, and and obviously everybody has to grow and develop, and that's a big part of what they're doing right now too. But when you can take the reactionary movements to what they see, and to be able to use proper technique, use proper fundamentals, so that they can showcase all of the God-given talent that they have. I mean, that's where guys that can come in there and have the physical and mental maturity to be able to handle that, as well as just the situational reactions that are necessary. I think that's all big, and and seeing guys that can perform and are ready earlier in their careers, and then some guys where it just takes a little bit of time, and that's a big part of my message to them is be where you are, and everybody wants to be better, everyone wants to grow, and everybody wants more. be where you are and just embrace the steps that are in front of you. Because you get caught up looking 10 steps past, and you're going to miss the next one that's right there in front of you. So let's just take the step. And as those things happen, you turn around and then you see these monumental leaps and growth that you've taken. And I think I've seen that in a lot of these young players, and just so excited about what their future looks like here at Florida State.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, time now for our truest hero of the game, and it's more so a hero of the season, hero for his career. He's not a young guy. Lawrance Toafili, ladies and gentlemen, who against Notre Dame, you leaned on him early in that game, and he really ran the football well. He also led you, as he has during his career, catching the football out of the backfield. Lawrance Toafili, the St. Pete native, as he's winding down his career here at Florida State University. Hey, when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable, so start feeling like it today. Visit truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And you start to think about what LT has done for you during his time here and during his career. And I'm sure, as you all with all your guys, excited about his opportunity at the next level, because his skill set, his versatility seems to fit right in with what NFL teams are looking for, it seems like.
Yeah, and for him, it's just I think back to his whole career here at Florida State, and from coming in, the first year being a COVID year, was a young man that really has had to grow and develop just physically, but he's always been a special talent with the ball in his hands, and I look at this year and the things that he's been asked to do. You look at, we really have 3 of our top 4 backs that have dealt with injury or been out for the year. And so really, LT's had to shoulder a really big workload, and whether it's catching the ball in the backfield, pass pro, all the different things that we ask those guys to do. He's had to really be the leader in that group, and LT is, he's as good of a young man as you'll ever meet, and he pours his heart into this team. He pours his heart into this program. Obviously we're all disappointed in how the results of what this year has been, but he's never let the disappointment hold him back, and he's continuing to invest. He's continuing to help mentor and try to lead these young players, and his presence and just his example is going to be carried on here for many years in front of us because of just the person that he is, and obviously he's had a great playing career, and excited about what opportunities will be in front of him as well.
Yeah, Lawrance Toafili, career rushing yards in the top 20 now in Florida State football history. So he's had one heck of a career, and looking forward to following him and him finishing out his career in the Guardian Gold in grand fashion. Hey, our program is also brought to you in part by our friends at ABC 27. Get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. And you can watch a re-air of our program on ABC 27 every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Just getting started here tonight, live from Bowdens in College Town, another edition of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Stay with us. More to come when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long, they could circle the earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and South.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Lawrance and College Town. This is Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell. Let's rejoin the coach with Jeff Culhane.
Hey, great to be back here at Bowdens in College Town in the courtyard outdoors here on Monday night, talking all things Florida State football with the head coach Mike Norvell as the Noles getting ready for homecoming and our Seminole Heritage game on Saturday with Charleston Southern in town. It's a 1:30 p.m. Eastern kick. We're on the air on the radio and the audio side at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Hey, time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Check out their tap room on Gain Street and grab Legacy Lager, the officially branded craft beer of Florida State Athletics. We mentioned kick time for Saturday. We found out today our rivalry matchup with that team just down the road next Saturday night is set for either 7 or 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That will air on ESPN2 next Saturday, November the 30th. We're watching it right now here on the TVs at Bowdens. Florida State women's basketball all over NC Central right now, 71-35, midway through the third quarter. Brooke Wyckoff and company off to a great start this year. Big game tomorrow for Leonard Hamilton and the Florida State men. They've got Hofstra at the Tucker Center. A 4-0 Hofstra team is very good. That's a 7 p.m. tip in a Seminole Heritage game. Soccer, NCAA tournament, second round versus Vanderbilt Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And Chris Poole and Florida State volleyball take on 15th ranked Georgia Tech, a 6:30 p.m. Eastern first serve Friday at Tully Gym as well. Coach, we mentioned Seminole Heritage game Saturday, and I know this one's important to you. It's important to your players and your program. You went and visited the Seminole Tribe of Florida a little over a year ago and went down to the Brighton Field Days when you really don't have any downtime, but you had an opportunity to go down and visit the tribe and really take in a pretty special weekend with them down there.
No, that's something I'll always remember, and just to be able to get a sense of the culture and the people, and just being able to be a part of that weekend was really just a remarkable experience, and the hospitality was really special, and been able to build so many great relationships with members from the Seminole Tribe of Florida, and just the support that they have of us and our program, this university, and obviously this week is big because we want to represent that as we celebrate the Seminole Heritage, and obviously all things surrounding this game, with it also being homecoming, and for everybody that's coming back to Tallahassee, just to be able to celebrate all things great about Florida State, and just for our team to go out there and play the best game that we've played this year, and excited about our guys going and taking that positive step.
Yep, you'll see members of the staff on the sidelines wearing turquoise, of course, the color to honor the Seminole Tribe of Florida, as it represents harmony, friendship, and fellowship throughout Native American communities. I know you're the man in black You got any turquoise planned somewhere on that attire?
Absolutely.
All right. I like that. There we go. Little fashion update there for Coach Norvell. We'll see what he's got on the sidelines coming up on Saturday night. I know you love when I talk about what you wear. Fires you up. Coach, we talk about some of your young guys. You're working in some very, very talented young offensive players right now at wide receiver, running back, some skill players at tight end as well. Guys like Lloyd McCoy, Elijah Moore. We've seen Samuel Singleton make his impact in special teams and certainly in the running game. And Amari Williams and Landon Thomas. All those guys have gotten significant reps. How does that help their development for what you have envisioned for them down the road as they become veterans?
Yeah, I think we have close to 8 guys that are either your freshmen or redshirt freshmen that have played extensive snaps for us. You here this year on offense, and it's definitely, it might be 9 actually, but I mean it's a challenge as guys grow through some of the learning curves that they get to experience, but it's also so very beneficial. And what I've appreciated is just the mentality of what they brought. I mean, I had a couple of guys come in into the office today, and I mean just the hunger that they have to grow and get better, the ownership that they have to be the difference makers, not only with where we are today, but also for our program and where we're moving forward. And like I tell them, I mean, we can all have a focus of what we want it to be. Well, the opportunity we get is today, and what are we willing to do today that's going to put us in the best position for what tomorrow holds. And it's about the work, it's about the relationships, it's about the buy-in of all things that guys are working and getting to do, and just having an appreciation for that opportunity. And I think we really have a special group, and I think those guys and the in-game experience that they're receiving, it's earned. They put themselves in that position, but also there's a realization of some of the areas that they have to continue to grow and get better, but also a celebration of the work they put in and some of the highlights that they're being able to put together.
Coach, a guy that I mentioned, Elijah Moore, man, I tell you, as a young guy, as he gets in, and we'll talk to Josh Storms coming up a little bit later on in the show, continues to develop physically. That's a kid, 6'4", big, long, athletic, number 1 recruit out of the state of Maryland, and a young man, as you mentioned, feels like he's a guy that's hungry to take it all in, and he wants to be one of the best in the country in college football. What do you feel like his ceiling is with his skill set and capability?
No, I'm really excited about Elijah, and you see the flash plays. It's something he's done in practice. I'm glad that he's been able to get in the game. Get a couple catches. Obviously, get a sense of exactly where he is. But Elijah also came in. He came in late this summer, and so some guys come in as early enrollees and get a whole spring practice, and really kind of get their feet on the ground as they roll through it. But with Elijah, coming in a little bit later, he was able to still transition to be able to make an impact this year. But like I said, the sky's the limit. As he continues to grow, physically, and you'll let his the muscles and the explosiveness catch up to the great frame that he has. Just the repetition and the continued development in that. I mean, but anybody that watches practice, you see the potential, you see the flashes. Now it's about growing that consistency, on a play in and play out basis. But he was a guy that came up today and just spent a few minutes just telling me how excited he is about what the future holds. And I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity I get to coach him.
I know how you like to utilize your versatile tight ends in your offense and move them around and move them and put them in different spots. I mean, I'm sure for Landon and Amari playing at this point earlier in their career, they're almost drinking from a fire hose at times trying to get it all locked in. But with that said, the reps they're earning now that can really turn into just big opportunity, I would think, with what you want to do with them down the road.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you, what I want to also give a shout out to, some of our older tight ends. I mean, Kyle Morlock, Jackson West, Brian Courtney. I mean, those guys, it's an impressive group to watch. And, Kyle, he's had his rough moments throughout the course this year. And, as he's continued to work through that, I mean, he's always about his teammates. He's pouring into those young guys, making sure that he's helping them along. Obviously, he's bounced back and done some good things here in these last few weeks. But when you see young talented players that are jumping in, Amari is another guy that came in the summer. a year early than really
Reclassified,
what was initially expected, and to see him have an opportunity to impact just all things that he can do. Landon, I think, has a just a really special future in front of him, and he's getting better with every rep that he's gotten throughout the course of the season, and really you're playing at a very consistent level for a guy his age, and then just the combination of all the different skills that those guys can implement to their game and to the offense, and it gets you excited for what the future holds.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, get the VIP treatment for a Florida State Seminoles football game, courtesy of our friends at Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Sign up for a chance to win 4 tickets, 4 pregame hospitality passes, a one-night hotel stay, and an FSU fan prize pack for the football game versus Florida next Saturday, November 30th. Go to the website, sign up today, Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps. And introducing the official vodka of Florida State Athletics, SV Vodka, crafted for a smooth taste. SV Vodka is 100% vegan, perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. More to come here live from Bowdens in College Town. We'll talk about this Florida State defense and, of course, some announcements on the specialist side for the Noles we want to talk with Coach about here on the program tonight. That and more on the way, live from Bowdens in College Town. More Inside Seminole Football when we return.
Hey Seminole fans, this is Josh Storms, head strength and conditioning coach for Florida State football. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather around, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long they could circle the Earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and South Georgia.
Coach Mike Norvell coming up on Inside Seminole Football.
Hey, in town for a game this fall? Stay at 4 Points by Sheridan in Tallahassee downtown, where parking is always complimentary. plus free shuttle service to the airport and to Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheraton Tallahassee downtown today. And welcome back in, live from Bowdens in College Town, Inside Seminole Football with the head coach Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Culhane. Coach, we've talked a lot about your two veteran specialists, Alex Mastromano, Ryan Fitzgerald, and rightly so throughout the year. Great to see the other day, this past Friday, that Alex was named a Ray Guy Award semifinalist as the top punter in all of college football. 48.9 yards per punt is the best in the country, and he leads all of college football in 50-plus yard punts with 26 on the season. It's been fun to see him go out and flip the field for you guys and make things happen when you've asked him to.
Yeah, no, Alex has been just so very consistent, and obviously nobody wants to use him as much as we've used him this year. But to be able to answer the call, to be able to flip the field, I mean, it takes such ownership in all aspects of our special teams. And he also serves as our holder, and for the year that Ryan Fitzgerald's having, those guys are a tremendous duo. I think we had the two best specialists in the country. For him to be recognized as a Ray Guys semifinalist, definitely excited about where that can go for him personally, and just for all that he has in front of him, playing this game, because got an incredible future.
And the Luke Rosa Award semifinalist will be named, I believe, tomorrow, I want to say, in college football. And we would expect Ryan Fitzgerald to be in that conversation. He's the only kicker in the country with 5 made field goals from at least 52 yards here this season. And the only kicker in Florida State history to make 3 career field goals of at least 54 yards. I know I've asked you this before, but just, again, you talk about growth. And when you watch guys develop within your program, from the struggles that he had 2 years ago to being essentially automatic with his leg, I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
Well, I mean, even as a program, right now we're going through challenging times, and there's experiences that all of us would like to change and want to be different, and would hope it goes would have went a different way. But you are where you are, and it doesn't mean it's going to be where you stay. But you've got to be able to learn through the experiences. You've got to be able to fight through it, continue to invest, continue to work, and believe in all the things that you can do and all that you can accomplish. And Ryan is an example of that. And when you go through the challenging times that he had 2 years ago, the outside noise, the belief of maybe what some others thought that of who he was, he didn't buy into that. He just continued to work, continued to get better. He found the moments to challenge himself. Even I think we talked about it this summer. The times this summer. Yeah. I mean, anytime it was raining, I knew where Ryan would be. He was finding a field. He was going out there. He was putting himself into tough moments so that he would be ready. And I think for what that's done for him is remarkable. What that's done for Jake and the other specialists and guys that are young to be able to look up to. And we talk about Mac as a punter as well, seeing those two guys and just what they've done, how they approach the work, and our specialists are different. They don't have a side program. Yeah. They're right there in it with Coach Storms, and whether we're going through tour of duty, whatever it is that our players are being asked to do, they are right there in the front of it. And how they work, how they respond. I mean, it helps prepare them for the mental aspect of what they've been able to do and accomplish. And it's just a couple of great leaders for this team, and guys that you can definitely look up to.
The time now for our Keys to Success, brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Charleston Southern coming to town here this weekend. Coach, their final game of the regular season. I know the work began on Sunday and now gets going again tomorrow. Give me a few items that you're looking at with your football team this week.
I want to see our guys go out there and like I said earlier, play our best game. I want to see all 3 phases, go out there and to be able to execute, be able to communicate. I want to see guys cut loose and go play and just enjoy the opportunity that we have. Obviously, being back at home, getting a chance to be in front of a homecoming crowd. It's a great opportunity for us. And there's been obviously some changes that have happened around the program and within the football team. And for us, it's about each player, each individual linking up and going to stick together as we go to put our best performance out there on the field. And I think our players have done a good job of that in our practice and our preparation. We're gonna have a great week with it, and then cut it loose and go play there there on Saturday afternoon, and you'll put it all on display for our wonderful fans.
We'll take a time out. One more segment with Coach on the other side in our Bowden's historical matchup feature to begin the segment. When we return back after this, live from Bowden's in College Town. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Here's Jeff Culhane.
Oh, we are back Monday night. One more segment with the head coach Mike Norvell. Coming up, KJ Kirkland will join us on our main stage, the Jacksonville native and Florida State safety who has emerged as one of the top DBs in his second season in the program here at Florida State University. And looking forward to talking with the director of strength and conditioning for the Noles, Josh Storms, as well. Hopefully he doesn't make me go through one of your guys' workouts. That won't end well up here, Coach.
Be good for you.
It definitely would be good for me. That is for sure. Hey, let's take a look at our Bowden's historical matchup, game to look back upon. How about the first ever meeting versus Charleston Southern, September 10th, 2011. There's E.J. Manuel winding up and firing it down the field for a long score. As the Noles, it was all garnet and gold on this day in week 2 of 2011. E.J. Manuel threw for 329 yards and a career-high 4 touchdowns before giving way to Clint Trickett in the second half, who threw 2 touchdown passes to Rashad Green. And the garnet and gold outgained the Buccaneers 647-84 en route to a 62-10 win in week 2 of that 2011 season. Brought to you by Bowden's, of course, our host location of Inside Seminole Football with the head coach Mike Norvell, Monday nights during the season, 7 to 8 p.m. Coach, final thoughts for you as you guys get back to work and working in some different items here and there. Randy Shannon's going to be calling your defense the remainder of the season. Kind of take us through your vision over the last couple of games.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, what I want to see from our players is for them to go out there. I want our coaches to be able to put them in the best position to go, play fast, play free, and let their best be put on display. And you do that, you build confidence through the work. Like I said, our guys have done a good job of working. There will be some subtle changes and things that we're doing. You obviously into the next 2 games. games, but also, just making sure that we're continuing to play to the strengths of what our guys are doing well, and then I want to see them go attack. And we get 60 minutes come Saturday, and there is an expectation of what we want to see. And through the highs, through the lows, through all things that we face, I mean, we still get to make that choice. And from what I've seen from our players, they're making the choice on a daily basis to go fight for improvement. And come Saturday, we get to go fight against somebody else, and put our your best foot forward, and go out there and show the improvement, and have fun playing this game.
Coach, great to see you as always. And as always, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much, and appreciate everybody coming out, and go Noles.
There you go. The head coach Mike Norvell stopping by here on Monday night Inside Seminole Football. Brought to you in part by our friends at Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking and unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up, looking forward to talking with KJ Kirkland here at our main stage. That's on the way after this timeout. Don't go anywhere.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather round, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Sonny's Barbecue, local pit masters since '68.
In College Town, this is Inside Seminole Football. Let's rejoin the voice of the Seminoles, Jeff Culhane.
Hey, great to be back in live from Paddleton College Town. Another edition of Inside Seminole Football, and we're fired up for our next guest on the program. We'll introduce him here momentarily. As our program brought to you in part by our friends at Carver's Discount Cleaners. Mean on stains, green on earth. Try new Eco Green dry cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners at 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown here in Tallahassee. And we want to show you our Gear of the Week presented by Garnet and Gold, and in honor of Seminole Heritage Weekend. This week's featured item is a home field men's Seminole logo bomber jacket in turquoise. Look at this thing right here. I need to get me one of these and wear it in the booth on Saturday afternoon. Pretty nice. Pretty good stuff there. Garnet and Gold, locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Visit one of their 3 locations here in Tallahassee and pick up your new game day gear. Please, a big round of applause. Florida State safety, Jacksonville native KJ Kirkland with us here on our main table. Great to see you, my friend.
You too.
How are you doing?
Great, pretty good.
Doing good. Take me through the bye week. How needed was it physically, mentally, and what were some of the things you were able to do during that downtime?
You know, it's always good whenever we get to have a bye week just to reset mentally and physically, like you said, just to prepare our body, you know, just to come back off of a week. And just that extra bit of rest is always good just to help us go into the next week and an extra week of game planning and preparation for our next opponent.
By the way, during the bye week, KJ celebrated his 20th birthday this past Friday, everybody. Back home in Jacksonville, what is KJ Kirkland's birthday go-to meal if you have your choice? What's the what kind of food do you like?
Any type of steakhouse.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the guy after my own heart. Get the guy steak.
Yeah.
He's going to be all good. Hey, this season you've really emerged. 41 tackles, couple of pass breakups, a TFL. You've been a guy that's emerged in the secondary here in your second year. I remember we were over in Jacksonville practicing at the Jaguars indoor, and you and I talked after practice, and we were just talking about how it was going and the light bulb turning on for you in your second year. Man, it's obviously turned on for you in a big way. What's it been like as the game's slowed down for you here as a second-year player in this program?
You know, definitely going through those first couple games, you know, my first start against Memphis, you know, things were kind of moving a little bit faster than I expected, but just after those first couple of drives, you know, I kind of got my feet up under me, and it was just easy to go. And just stacking those games, like game after game, seeing different things, going against different type of athletes, you learn a lot of different things, and just be able to add those things to, you know, to my inventory and just learn from those things, be able to grow upon those things. You know, I've been able to do a lot of great things, and I'm just excited to see where I can go from here.
KJ, I talked to Coach about this during his segment. What's the biggest transition for a young guy making the move from high school to big-time college football? What would you tell people that transition is like?
Honestly, I'd say the biggest change was like just an overall knowledge of the game. You know, just like Coach Storm is going to get you, but bigger, stronger, and faster. So I wasn't really too much worried about that. And coming out of high school, I already had like a decent frame. So I say the knowledge of the game. You know, guys who have been in the system for like 4, maybe sometimes 5, 6 years. You know, they definitely have a lot of knowledge over you. So just being able to feed off of those guys and learn from those guys who have been in the system for a long time, and just to add it to your game, I say that's probably be one of the just the biggest changes overall.
We're talking to Coach Storms here coming up momentarily. What do you appreciate the most about Coach Storms, his staff, and the work you guys put in with that strength staff in the off season and in season as well?
Yeah, that was one of the things I first noticed when I got on campus. Coming out of high school, I was about 174. I think I'm playing comfortably right now, like 205.
How about that?
So I kind of want to go up a little bit more, but always, the bigger, the faster, the better. So just being able to trust his guys, trust him to have us, have a plan in place for each week, just to have our bodies feeling right and going in playing fast and physical, as always says. So.
Coach, more weight on this guy? What do you think? Yeah? We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll get that going. Josh Storms will join us here coming up momentarily. This defensive secondary group, man, I tell you, a lot of talent back there. A lot of really good players, veterans and young guys as well. Talk to folks about that room and just the overall vibe, the competitiveness that you guys bring out in each other every day.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about including myself, the younger guys, including myself, just what we can bring to the table, and not to forget about the vets, AZ, Fintrell, Shaheem, guys like that. Just what they bring to us and how we all come together every practice. We're usually the position group that brings the juice to every practice. So if we come out flat, not to say it's probably going to be like a kind of mid practice, but just we kind of hang that upon our group just to bring the energy, bring the vibes, and just bring the swagger overall to the whole team and defense. So I kind of take pride in that, and just like I said, to piggyback on the younger guys, I feel like what we can do as of now and what we can do in the future, we can probably bring Florida State in our secondary back to one of the top in the country.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this week. Absolutely. This week, getting ready, your mindset, focus day by day, getting ready for another game on Saturday.
Just as Coach Norvell preaches, you just want to put the ball down. They're our next opponent up on the schedule, so whatever we can do to get the win and showcase our ability and showcase our talent, whatever we can do to get back on the field and just play football. Yeah.
By the way, for those of you, I'm sure many of you know, some may not, KJ comes from a very athletic family in Jacksonville and a very speedy family as well. He was a state champion in high school, 4x400, but you also have 2 sisters correct? D1 sprinters, Kendall and Kalen, Division I sprinters. Who's the fastest?
Me.
You, right there? That was no hesitation.
Yeah, no.
That's a great answer, KJ. I bet there's some competitiveness there, huh?
They already know.
There we go. There we go. That's a lot of fun. That's fantastic. Hey, we appreciate your time very much. Continued success, and we look forward to watching you playing again here on Saturday. Appreciate you.
Yes,
that's KJ Kirkland, ladies and gentlemen, Jacksonville native and second-year Florida State defensive back, doing great things in his redshirt freshman campaign. Our conversation with all of our Florida State football players and student athletes brought to you by Seminole Boosters. Did you know that FSU athletics is self-supported, is not funded by tax dollars? Because of this, we rely on fans just like you to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the field. Seminole Booster membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more or join. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Coming up next, we'll talk with the man that molds the Noles. Josh Storms joins us on our main table. When we come back, don't go anywhere. All right.
Strength, determination, passion. When you need a fighter, when you need someone to have your back, when it's all on the line, we'll be right there. Scott and Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long they could circle the Earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and South Georgia.
Hey Seminole fans, this is Josh Storms, head strength and conditioning coach for Florida State football. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Inside Seminole Football, here is Jeff Culhane.
And we are back Monday night, live from Bowdens in Collegetown. Another edition of Inside Seminole Football. We are welcoming in Josh Storms here coming up momentarily. It's our program brought to you in part by our friends at Grassroots Coffee. And Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State football. Grassroots Coffee, the official coffee of the Battles End. And every time you drink Battles End Blend, you support FSU athletes. Order Battles End Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. And brought to you in part by our friends at Seminole Boosters. Did you know that FSU athletics is self-supported and is not funded by tax dollars? Because of this, we rely on fans just like you to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the field. To learn more, go online, SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Hey, please give it up for the Director of Strength and Conditioning, Josh Storms, Florida State football. This guy gets our guys ready to go in season, out of season. It's great to see you, Coach, as always. Hey, give everybody just kind of a vibe. Give me like a day in the life of your staff and just all the things that the organization, there's a lot to it. You guys have a big workload, that's for sure.
Yeah, the way that day looks kind of depends what time of year it is, but right now in season, let's call it Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Our newcomer group will lift at 6 a.m., so we'll be in the facility a little bit before 5, just making sure we're organized, dialed in for the day. Any modifications need made to guys' training. During the season, guys' bodies are in flux day in, day out, so we got to make sure we stay on top of that. Those guys will come in and lift at 6. They're wrapped up shortly before 7, time to get breakfast, time to go to meetings.
Yeah.
Usually that's when the staff will try to get our own training done in that period of time before we head out to practice. On the field for practice, obviously after warm-up, we'll be involved here and there. We'll always have some guys that are, in the return-to-play phase coming back off injury, so we'll work pretty extensively with those guys during practice. As practice wraps up, we'll be back down in the weight room, and then depending what day of the week it is, we'll have one of our lift groups that's then immediately after practice. Because with the morning practice schedule, all the classes to the afternoon, so those guys come off the field, come down there, get that lift knocked out. From there, time to eat, time to get to class, and then we're remix, repeat the next day.
That's one of the things that I find just so amazing and fascinating about the work you guys do is the structure and the communication and the organization that you have to have for each individual player, because every player has a different plan, right? To a certain degree on, hey, this is what we're going to do here this offseason. We're going to put on weight. We're going to lose weight. We're going to do things that way. How do you even begin with that process?
It all comes down to, one, having a great staff, which we're fortunate to have a great staff here, but not just the guys on my staff. It's how we work with sports medicine, how we work with nutrition, how we work with sports science. It kind of takes a village to raise these guys, because at the end of the day, we have 125 players on the roster, and all those guys have different needs. And at the end of the day, football's football. So strength, speed, power. I don't care what position you play. That's going to be a huge piece of your development, what you need. But then it's where are you at in your training age? Are you a freshman coming in? Are you guys been in the program for a few years? Are you a guy that just transferred in from another university, and we have you for 1 year? So we have to figure out where you're at, how to best get you to where you want to go in a short period of time. And so we kind of will bucket those guys into who are the guys with similar needs. Okay, then we can go get in and address those similar needs. And then each one of my guys on staff will have ownership of a certain area of the program, to where our guys know, we all work together on it, but they kind of know what their point of contact is. If they're working, recovery and soft tissue work, they can see Coach Dowdy. All my Coach Coleman takes care of all of our young guys. Coach Jones takes care of all of our return to play guys, modified guys, injured guys. Coach Farniak does a lot of our the square one system and neuro stuff with our guys, works a lot with our bigs. And so we all kind of have our different points of contact. So those guys know who to go to, then we work collectively together to put together the ultimate program, the package we feel is best fits our team this year to go do their job.
You got great staff. There's no doubt about that. I want to talk about those guys a little bit here in a moment. We got to take a quick timeout. More to come with Josh Storms. Fascinating stuff as the guy that molds the Noles in season and out of season. More to come with Josh Storms live from Bowdens in College Town. We're back after this timeout. Don't go anywhere.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey, we're back one final time here on Monday night. We appreciate everybody that's come on out and joined us tonight, talking all things Florida State football, live from Bowdens in College Town, our home and our host location of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, each and every Monday night, 7 to 8 p.m. here during the football season, live in College Town. And come on out on Saturday, obviously, and get your pregame on here at Bowdens in College Town, the place to be as you gear up to go cheer on the Noles over at Doak Campbell Stadium. Josh Storm's back with us. Great to have him. Hey, big shout out to our cheer squad. Thank you, ladies, for coming on out tonight. We appreciate that, getting us fired up and ready to go. And we appreciate Coach Gold and her entire cheer squad with us each and every time out. Your staff, Lanier Coleman, Tom Farniak, Nick Dowdy, Darian Jones, you guys put together one heck of a group. You talked about the responsibilities, but that continuity, that's got to be pretty important for you, right? Those guys have been with you for a handful of years now.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we kind of have an atypical situation. I've had those same 4 guys here with me since our very first day we stepped onto campus here. And so Coach Dowdy had actually been with me for a handful of years at Memphis before we came here. And then, you know, when I knew that we were coming down here and knew kind of what the task was ahead, you know, my first job was to figure out who were going to be the best guys to build what we needed to build here. And so, you know, I kind of went into my, you know, network of people. I didn't necessarily just choose guys who I knew prior or worked with prior.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I went and found the best guys. And most importantly, the guys that were also best suited, not just tactically at the job, but like the right kind of guys, the right kind of leaders, the right kind of teachers, the kind of guys you want to be able to spend time with, the kind of guys I know that can build relationships with our players, and felt very confident coming in. And just, you know, 5 years later, you know, I feel still pretty solid about that decision with what those guys are.
No doubt. It's a great staff and great guys, to say the least, as you talked about. Your relationship with Mike Norvell goes back to Arizona State, I believe, if that far back. Let's talk about that relationship and the importance of communication with the head coach and what he's looking for, what he wants, and your feedback as well is always very, very important for him, too.
Yeah. Coach and I have been together since 2012. He was there as a first-time play caller, offensive coordinator. I was our top assistant on our strength staff there at the time, and we'd had a good relationship early on there, and we're fortunate to be able to coach some great players there and have some great success. And from there, when the opportunity came to move on to Memphis, he asked me to come be part of that staff to fill that role for him there, and so it's kind of been onwards and upwards ever since. And just the benefit that brings to me and my job is I've seen that many years of what the expectation of practice is. Yeah. What level of conditioning is appropriate for how we practice. Because if not, practice can look a lot of different ways with a different coach. And so with having that familiarity, I have a really, really clear, concise target that we have to shoot for in the summertime to be ready for camp. Right. Yeah. And then same thing as we go into the off season and tour duty. We've been together long enough now where we can kind of compare and contrast to years before, and then kind of know what the plan needs to be to take us from that spring session into summer, ultimately preparing for camp, and then also just the communication during the season with what does practice look like in week 1 versus week 12, and where those workloads need to fall out at to keep us in the best position to not just be ready to go execute plays, but also for guys to still be in shape, guys to still be fast, guys to still be explosive, be as healthy as possible playing this game.
Yeah. Got about 30 seconds here with you, and it's probably not fair to ask you this in 30 seconds, but how the world of strength and conditioning have changed. Technology, nutrition is really close hand in hand, right? It's evolving.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I've been doing this for 25 plus years now. And, back in the day, it was, you squatted guys and bench guys and ran some conditioning, and that was your job, and it's branched out so much now into the prehab and the rehab and the way, the speed training and just all the other elements. You're going to be much more of a Swiss Army knife of a coach now than you used to be of just the guy that was in the weight room making guys move more weight. There's, much more multifaceted is what it's become.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Coach, it's always great talking. We could do an hour on this stuff. It's fascinating. Thanks for all you do, and we appreciate your time here tonight.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Give it up for Josh Storms, ladies and gentlemen, Director of Strength and Conditioning for Florida State football. That's going to do it for us here on Monday night, live from Bowdens in College Town. We'll see you next Monday as we gear up for the matchup with Florida. Have a great night, everybody. Have fun. Go Noles!